ladies. Welcome back. Welcome back. I hope everybody had a fantastic week. Guys, it is still summertime outside. It is still hot. It is
It's
still hot
beautiful.
outside.
Pretty warm.
Oh,
Yeah.
but I like it in the morning. I love it in the morning when it's cool. But by the time the afternoon comes, it's 85 degrees.
Still.
Still. So, ladies, in the morning it's cool. In the afternoon it's hot. 10 years ago, you would have been mad as heck if he left the toilet seat up. Today, today, you'll probably just, when he walks out of the room and leaves the toilet seat up, turn around and look, give him some shade and just put the toilet seat down. So ladies, tell me, are there anything that in relationships that you tolerated, not deal breakers, but things that really would have made you mad years ago if a guy did them, but if he does them today, might not be as much may not anger you. You may just kind of overlook it, or kind of go at a different approach about how to change it or make it different so that it's more palatable for everybody. So the toilet seat was my first thing. I hated, I still do. Even when I go to other people's homes, I put their toilet seats down. Plus, I straighten their pictures up too. But anyway, so and that really did anger me, leaving the toilet seat up. But nowadays, I'll be honest with you, if I in a relationship, if the gentleman didn't put the toilet seat down, I wouldn't even say anything, because I know that if I did, how it would turn out is how it used to turn out, into an argument. And once we speak up or talk too loud, we become the angry Black woman. Unfortunately, that's the title that we get, even though that might not be the case. You might be just feeling some kind of way about something and you're expressing it that way, but that's how you're being perceived. So now I wouldn't even say anything about the toilet. I just put the toilet seat down and just walk away. So tell me, before you tell me, please, out there, like, share, subscribe, and leave us a comment, because I know that there are some things out, especially you women. I know there's some things out there that would have gotten under your skin years ago, that today you're just like, whatever. You just let it go. Shake your head. So ladies, come on. I know you've got some of those little things tucked away that you're more tolerable of today. Anything?
Okay. For me, it's probably gonna be the toilet tissue roll.
Oh, wait a minute, the toilet tissue.
Please don't say which way it goes up.
Yeah, the way it goes, man.
Okay, so are you an over or under?
Under.
So am I. Bonnie, what are you, over or under?
I'm left-handed. I do it both ways.
Oh,
okay. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't. I mean, it aggravates me that it bothers people, because whichever way I put it in, that's how it is. It just doesn't bother me. I'm not gonna
change it at your house.
Man, don't challenge me. Thank you. I'm left-handed. My brain thinks left-handed.
Yeah.
So Wendy, you're saying if you were living with a guy back in the day, you would if he put the toilet paper in and he put it opposite from what you like, you change it? Or even if you went to his house and you would change it?
Probably wouldn't change it at somebody else's house. It's just, like I said, it's always been an annoyance, and it still is a little bit. But it's not a deal breaker, okay? It's not a deal breaker.
But I can agree with you on that, because I'm an under person too. So anything for you?
Don't come looking and changing nothing in my house. I'm telling you now. However I put it in, that's how it is.
No, we wouldn't change.
Sometimes I close my eyes and I clip it, and voila, whatever it is. And I heard people say that, and I was just like, oh, how can it be like that? I mean, because it just never, it never was anything to me.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, my pet peeve is paper hoarders. People who write something and leave the pad there, or they get the newspaper to leave the newspaper over there. They're paper hoarders. And at the end of a week, you look around and there's paper everywhere. Now that bothers me.
Dude, wait. So do you pick the paper up? Is that what you used to do? Just pick it all up?
No, I made a scene
No,
about it.
it can be important. It can be important to the paper.
Yeah, I can't, right. I can't pick
So-
your paper up because I don't know what the heck you got saved there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I write things on all little things. Sometimes I want to cry because I write them on the back of envelopes and things of that nature, but I try to store it in the same place. You know, so at some point I go and I get the envelope, I put it in my phone, but you know, back in the day, you didn't have the phone to put it in. So you needed to put it in a book or something on one side, and that's perfectly your side. But you know, paper hoarders, that it's annoying today. It was annoying then, and you know, I will say something about it. It's not necessarily a pet peeve. I'm not gonna kick you out because of it, but we are gonna have a lot of discussions about it.
So it still bothers you. Well, listen, that's okay. So both you ladies, Wendy, the toilet paper still bothers you if it's on the upside, and Vonnie, if a person is laying different pieces of paper, newspaper, whatever, all around, wherever they stop, that's where they leave it. That still bothers you today. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
because usually I will tell a person, put it over there. Like I give them a place to put the
You
paper
don't put
in,
it there.
and it still just does not work out like that. So yeah, that does bother me.
Oh my goodness, that is too.
I get that though, because paper, mail, and newspapers,
Oh,
all of that stuff accumulates. You
it
know.
accumulates. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
all over your table. It's
Yeah.
all over the living room. You know, it's like wherever you are with this paper, there it stays, there it lives. You know,
And
when
you
I'm
know,
saying go over to
no,
the
no.
right side, put it in that box over there, and at the end of the month, you clean it out. You
So,
know,
so Vonnie, you would have, okay, so in the past, I've known people who you would go into their kitchen and they just got stacks of mail, just that would annoy you, right?
oh hell yeah,
Just stacks
yeah,
of mail. It's
yes,
like, and some
yes,
of it, wait, and a lot of it's junk mail that you know you don't even need to look at. You can just put
right.
it in the trash,
You
but
just
they
put
all
it
have
there,
stacks
right?
and stacks and stacks of it.
But let me say this. I got a place for mine, buddy. It's not everywhere. I got a place for mine, but I do keep a lot. Let me tell you what I just found. You guys are gonna laugh. A check from 2021.
Well,
It wasn't one
90
of them
days,
$5
girlfriend, that
checks.
check's so good.
Not
Well,
one of them
I'm
$5
gonna get
checks.
them to reissue it.
Wait,
But yeah, I just went through some, just you know, going through it. A check. So you gotta go. Sometimes you don't go through it. You just like,
it was
it
made out to you, and you,
was like a one of those little small claims, you know, those
yeah,
FTC type. Yeah.
girl. So did you take it to the bank?
To the bank, I have to get it 2021, Chris.
That's what I'm saying. Did they look at you and be like, "Listen, you need to leave"? Right?
So I gotta get it reissued. Hopefully
Oh,
I can
that's
get it
good. They'll
reissued.
reissue it. Oh,
I
that's
think so. We'll see.
yeah. Well, that'll be good. That'll be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's interesting. So, Bonnie, that still bothers you guys, because I've known men. You know, I've been to their house and on the kitchen table. These got stacks of paper. I'm like, are you gonna look at
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
And
that's
I can do it too, especially when you live by yourself. You can do it. But if I know someone is coming over, the first thing I do is clear that, and I may put it in another spot, but it's my house. So I may
yeah.
put it in another spot, but you're not going to come in and find it all on the table.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
some people get very relaxed and they just leave it there. But I happen to know someone that's very, very nosy and can see everything from the door. Oh, is that so and so over there? Or where'd you get that? You know,
Oh,
so
no.
I learned.
Okay.
Put your mail up.
I got another one.
What is it, Wendy?
I don't know if you guys, when you're cooking, okay, and somebody comes over and puts like extra seasoning in what you're cooking.
Ooh,
Oh no, don't do that.
mess my
Yeah.
cooking up.
That's annoying. That's
You let
annoying.
somebody actually do that?
Did they
Yeah.
taste it first?
Hmm?
Did they taste it first?
No, no.
They just
It's
come in.
I mean, it's like you know how some people like sugar in their spaghetti
I don't know those people.
sauce.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah. They just put some sugar over in the spaghetti sauce, and I'm like, don't
Mm, mm.
do anything to my what I'm cooking. You know what I mean? Don't do anything. But you
Go
can
over,
ask me, you
go
know.
over, go over there and use the easy bake oven.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
they're
annoying. It's a
Oh
real
my
pet peeve.
Yeah, that would bother me too. I would have to say something. I'm sorry. If I'm cooking, I'm cooking, maybe, if you say, oh, let me taste it, and you say, oh, it needs a little bit of this.
Yeah, yeah,
And if I
that's
or
say,
me.
you ask them, why don't you taste this, see
yeah,
what you
exactly.
think? And
Yeah,
then they say blah blah blah, then you may agree with them. Like
Right.
we all know that I love salt, but I do not cook my stuff with salt. So I just put it on after it's cooked because other people don't like it like I like it.
hmm
I like
hmm
wet, what do you call it? Wet tuna fish. I like my tuna fish very mayonnaise, but I'm not
Oh,
going to do
no, you
that.
do?
Yeah, I do. I like it wet, but I'm not going to do that. I make it normal, and
yeah.
then when I get my own, I put my
You
mayonnaise in
add
it.
to it, right? You add to
Yeah.
it. Okay, that's fair. That's fair enough. So ladies, so we've talked about, things that we could, well, I'm okay with the toilet seat being up. I'll just put it down. But you guys still have an axe to grind.
So we're the angry black women.
So on that topic and talking about, having conversations about these things, I read somewhere that a lot of older men can't hold a conversation. Have you ran into that in any conversations that you've had, whether you met someone or you met someone through a friend or whatever? Any I'll be honest with you, only a couple times here and there, but you kind of expect older people to have, to have a toolbox filled with all kinds of stories and, things that they can talk about. But sometimes they really don't, they're just boring, you know?
You know, there's a number of reasons why people, men. We're talking about men now, right? So
Yes.
why they don't have good conversations. One thing is, this is what I noticed: they don't want to overshare. Okay, they can
Ah.
overshare, and then there's the you don't want to say too much because it could be a lie that you have to remember,
That's true.
right? That's one thing. And then that they might not have a good conversation because they're awkward or shy, or I don't know, maybe you just not vibing. You know
That
what I mean?
that
Between
could
the two
definitely
of you.
that could definitely be it for
Yeah,
sure. But I guess I definitely like the oversharing. Don't want to give out too much information up front, and I
yeah,
don't think that that's at any age. It doesn't really sound older or younger.
yeah.
But for those men who those things don't even necessarily apply to, they're just, let's go with awkward. How do you deal with that? Is that
Well,
somebody? Is that
one
somebody
guy,
you try to build a relationship with, or you just let them go?
or bring it out of them.
Yeah, that's what
But
I'm saying. How do you
yeah,
bring it out of them?
well, I know a person I was seeing for a short period of time. They they just kept going back in the repertoire over and over again. It was like it got the first time it was cute, the second time it was okay, but the third and the fourth time I was like, I got to the point where I knew exactly what he was going to say because he was repeating something that he thought was cute, but I don't know if he knew he repeated it like 4 or 5 times.
Was that the old person repeater?
Yes, yes, yes.
Wow.
Like acting, I know what it was. It was like if they could imitate Eddie Murphy, or they could imitate, I think in this case it was President Kennedy or something like that. And they had the voice thingy and they would say the same thing. So the first time it was like, oh yeah, that's cute. And the second time it's like, yeah, I heard that. And the third and the fourth and the fifth time, after a while, I was like, well, are we gonna talk about anything else?
So, but do you think he realized that he'd said it that many times, Arnie?
No, I'm not the person that's gonna tell you you said it that many times.
But I mean, sometimes when people say things to you, you can kind of detect that they don't realize that they keep telling you the same thing.
Yeah, I'm sure he didn't realize it. I really am sure he didn't
Okay.
realize it. But I think he did think it was something cute to say over and over and over and over again.
So
Sorry.
you just listened to him. You didn't say
Oh my
anything.
God, it would be like kind of thing.
So Wendy, how would you bring that out of someone? If you were interested in them,
If you think they're just awkward or shy.
yeah, how would you bring that out?
It's good to ask questions, but you don't want it to be like an interview,
Right.
when you're trying to get to know someone. So I think, and I told a girlfriend of mine that she was having that issue, and I said, she said the guy he didn't have any conversation on the phone. But when she met him, he was all over her, he was very aggressive and everything, not aggressive, but in a good way, So I said, well, just let the awkward pauses, just let it be
for themselves.
Let it know. If it's quiet, then that forces a person to say something, right?
No. I've been in the company of people, they won't say anything, then you feel like you have to say something.
I mean, like I'm saying, you're talking on the phone, it's just you and this person. You're talking on this guy. You're talking on the phone with him, and you got this awkward. You're keeping the conversation going, right?
Right.
So don't do it. Just see what he's gonna say.
Just sit there in
Yeah.
silence.
Say good night.
Bonnie said, "Say good night."
Say good night, because I don't think what. That's a whole type of thing of conversation. If there's no conversation, it's not going to go any further. We've already said we can't grow these men up. We can't make them what we want in our hearts to be. So if that part comes, you already know it's a problem. It's a problem.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, it didn't work. Let me just say it did not work.
Okay, you still find yourself breaking the ice and saying something because they are so there in that state of mind that they're not going to say anything. But I thought that was kind of interesting. What did she think of him not having a lot to say on the phone, but when she was in his presence, it was totally different? How did she?
Well, I'm saying the approach. When he approached her, he had a lot to say. And
okay.
Yeah, but then when they talked on the phone a few times, it was no conversation. So I said, don't force it. Just let him, but it turned out he just faded, to black.
Yeah, well, what? I think that's one of those situations where they're just not into us. They were when we first met you. We was all fun, and now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. I realized that as I've gotten older, that in my early years, I love to conversate with somebody on the phone for hours and hours. I don't like to do that anymore. I know that
I'm the opposite. I do.
Yeah, I don't like to do that. And after a while, I'm looking at the time. I want to go to bed. I don't want to talk anymore. I will tell you goodbye, good night. Okay, go to bed. I gotta get up early. And luckily, I've had friends that have understood, and that's not a prerequisite for them. But when I was younger, I'd be on the phone 3 hours. My mother be like, "You better get off that phone, girl." That kind of thing. But now that I'm older, I really don't. And I did like the person, so I won't say it was because I didn't like the person. It was because I just don't feel that way anymore. I don't want to talk a long time.
Well, it has to be a vibe. It has to be like a whole vibe. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
To keep the conversation going. I wouldn't say 3 hours, but
not recently, but in recent years, I stayed on the phone for 5 hours with a guy. 5 hours.
You're a time waster.
I hope you liked him. Did you say she's a time waster?
No,
me a
I said she
TW.
was a time waster.
She called me a TW.
Uh-uh.
Well, you know what, I'll be honest, it was interesting conversation. The person was talking about things that interest me, like health, vitamin. I learned a lot. So that's probably the only reason that it lasted that long, because they were giving me good information. So, but that was
Okay.
a time waster.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you both were enjoying yourself, then it wasn't a waste of time, right?
No,
No, it really
it wasn't.
wasn't.
But now that I'm saying that out loud, I don't think that I could do that with everyone.
Again,
No.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right, with everyone.
I'm like, I
Yeah.
think I'd be with Bonnie. I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, there has to be a connection. There has got to be. And how did that work out, Chris? I mean, if you don't mind
It
sharing.
didn't work out.
See, that's what I mean. I ain't wasting my time.
Oh,
And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it didn't work out, is because it turns out that even though I did go out, we went out on a couple of dates, that this person liked to talk like that. And
All the time.
once this person found out that they had information that you were interested in and they were sharing with you, they were feeling good. So I realized that that's how they like to talk for hours on end.
Mhm.
so you said it wasn't anything special about you.
Exactly. There you go. Wendy,
It just was a talker.
I didn't even think about that. You are absolutely right. There was
Wow.
nothing special about me, exactly. So it wasn't even about me. It was just about the fact that this person thought they had so
He had
much
a captive audience.
Yes. Well, they did, I guess, 5 hours.
That's a long time. My gosh, I barely can keep an hour now. I'm sorry.
I know.
And I feel bad because I realized that that's the new me, because it has happened a few times. And
feel bad, Bonnie. You shouldn't feel bad about it.
No, not at all.
yeah, I don't know.
A lot of people don't like talking on the phone. So, and
It's
that's
just like,
another thing. Texting.
I was
is
gonna
like-
say, Winnie, just like that, texting. A lot of people don't like you don't like texting.
Me either.
We were talking to someone recently and they said that this person, all they wanted to do was text. So I said to this,
I hear that complaint a lot.
I said, well, did you let the person know that, you would like to hear their voice every now and then? I never really got an answer to that, but you have to tell people that, and you know what? You got to be compatible. If they like the text and you don't like the text, you're not compatible. You're not. I'm sorry. If that's how they like to communicate, then you know what? You're probably not the person for them. I like to mix it up. I like to hear your voice. I don't mind texting, but what I do mind is texting a story. I ain't got time to text a story.
Oh, nothing long. No.
No.
No, but I've had people text me like a book. A book. I'm like, you had time to do that?
That's
Well, what
kills
about
the
FaceTime?
phone. That's
What do you think
that's how
about
your phone
FaceTime?
died.
What did you say, Bonnie?
What do you think about FaceTiming?
Oh yeah, that's cool.
You know what it is, but don't just randomly FaceTime me. You need to
Right.
text me first and say, is it okay if I FaceTime you?
Right. I want it like that so I can get my scarf off my head.
Yes. No,
Okay, and I can look if I choose to, because sometimes I FaceTime you, the scarf will be on my head, and you say, "Oh, you got that scarf on your head?" Yep, I do. Mhm. What do you expect? I'm in my bed.
exactly. No, I got a friend FaceTime me, and it was a guy, and we were cool, and I had a bonnet on, and he's like, "You got a bonnet on?" Yeah, I had a bonnet on.
You know what? He probably had a crush on you for years, Chris. He probably
But
was.
the bonnet killed him. But the bonnet killed him.
Me, maybe I would have taken it off.
Yeah. The bonnet killed him, because all these women coming out with these bonnets and they killing people.
Pajama pants and the bonnet. He just
The
like
bonnets and the
not Chris.
and the slippers. So he visualized you as that.
Exactly. Now he sees me with the bonnet.
Yep.
Bonnet on? Well, yeah, I didn't know you were gonna be FaceTiming me.
Yeah. I'm telling you, the guy told me, he said, "You got a head rag on?" I said, "I'm in my house in my bed, right? You call me. I'm not gonna get redress to talk to you on the phone. Sorry. You know, I have to like really feel it. And I just was not feeling it like that. I was just like, well, you guys have to see me as I am, you know.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah.
don't like to be caught.
And that would be another
off
thing that
guard.
men, I'm sorry, that would be another thing that men probably don't want from women. They don't want to see them, like we said, going to bed with cold cream, going to bed with bonnets on our head. But you know what? We got that kind of hair that we're not the other persuasion where we can just go to bed like that. You know, we got to tie it up. Or else the
No, you're
next
right.
morning we're
9
going to
times
look,
out of 10.
you
Yeah,
know.
like Beyonce, we don't wake up like this, right? We don't wake up.
No.
Not at all. Well, I can wake up like this, but other styles, no, not at
Right.
all. Not
Right.
at all.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
ladies, this has been fun. I think that when our guest comes on next week, we're gonna have a good conversation.
I think so.
When I spoke to the gentleman, ladies, I really got a good vibe. And he felt it sounded he was excited. It was
Right.
so that's always good. He was excited. And this is I don't know that he's a friend of yours, Wendy, but he's someone that you also know.
Yeah, he's my friend, a good friend of mine's brother. I just met him, and he saw us watching the episode. He was like, "What?" So yeah, I mean, he's got a big personality. So
yeah, that's why I said he sounded really excited.
Yeah,
so,
it's gonna be fun.
And you know, guys, we're always trying to bring gentlemen on because we don't want to presume that we know everything. We have to hear it from men, you know, as often as we can, so that we don't get caught up in our own thoughts. Am I right, ladies? What do you think about that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So, ladies, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so we're gonna be pink girls next week
With our guest.
Let's get ready. Let's get ready with
Remind me, don't let me forget.
Okay, I'll text you. All right, ladies. Hey, listen, guys out there, please subscribe, like, share, do all of
and
those
leave a comment.
things, you know, and like Bonnie said, leave us a comment. We want to hear what you want to hear your thoughts. And you know what? Once again, let us know if there's something that you want us to talk about. Let us know, because there's a lot of things that I could really talk about, but I would probably get shut down on YouTube. So I won't talk about those things. So anyway, hey guys, have a great week. And you know, we will see you next week. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.